Guys, it's Aaron at My Homestead Education, and it's been one of those years. It's a year we're ready to forget about. 2017 has been, I mean, we've had a lot of ups too, you know, we've had a lot of good times, but had a baby, got a new job, a lot of good things have happened. But as far as on the homestead, it's been difficult. We had a friend of ours, he needed a place for a few horses, and one of them he bought underweight. It was an older horse, had been worked on. He was a pack horse for a guider, an outfitter that we know, and he sold it to him and thought he'd get 5-6 good years out of him. He was a really good horse. He was sweet, very gentle and handled very well. But when he bought him, he was underweight, and these older horses, when they're being worked like that, they'll lose weight towards the end of the year, the end of their work season, and then they pack it back on, and the next spring they're ready to go. And he had lost some weight just like he had for the past 5 or 6 years, and my friend bought him and fed him and fed him and fed him, and he didn't pack on the weight. And he brought him over here, and we got special food for him, you know, beet pellets and some grains that were easy to digest, and lots of good hay and good forage. And the other 2 horses were doing okay, but he kept going downhill. And we wormed him, gave him tapeworm medicine as well on top of regular wormer, and nothing was helping. And we thought he was only like 19. That was the big mistake that my friend had misunderstood. The guy we bought him from bought him when he was about 19. He had him for 12 years, so that puts him at like, what's that, 31? And then my friend's owned him for 1.5 years, 2 years. So he's about 33 years old, which horses can live well into that age bracket. My neighbor's got some that lived into the 40s. Not very well though. But anyhow, he was acting real strange. He had a lot of this white mucus that was just pouring out of him the last couple of days. And a friend of ours who's a horseman came up and looked at him. He said, yeah, this is a disease that the older horses will get. It doesn't spread, but they won't recover from it. And he's just suffering. And he was up eating this morning. I was looking for him this morning, but I had to go to work by the time I found him. And then my wife called me and said he was nearing the highway. We left the gates open to our neighbor's property, thinking he's not going very far. He was barely moving. Well, he made it a mile down the driveway and was at our gate. And he tried turning around and going uphill, and he couldn't. And he just turned around and looked at me. And anyhow, it's always hard taking a big animal, especially when it's not for food. But we had to take them out, and we're starting to cover them. We're going to compost them again. With all this soil as rocky as it is, and as cold as it is, and everything else I got to do, I don't have time to dig a huge 6-foot deep grave. But this is, we got a truckload of hay on him right now. My hand's shaking a little bit. I've been out weed eating. And anyhow, we got hay on him, and we're going next door to start mounting up a bunch of horse manure, and we have some other old leaves and stuff. In town, we got maple and walnut trees dropping leaves everywhere, and people are bagging them up. So we'll just keep piling it up here for the next week or two. Anything we can find, we'll pile on, and he should be decomposed by next year, early next year. Usually, I mean, it takes, I've heard people say if you can get it hot enough, it's a matter of a few weeks and it's gone. Just a few bones left. So I don't expect him to take too long. Poor thing. He was really trying to keep his weight on, but he couldn't do it. He ate a lot, but he couldn't pack any weight on. So I don't see any sign. Well, here we are, My Homestead Education. We're out here checking out the cows, getting ready to move them to their pasture for the winter. And we had one that was due to calve any day, or we thought. And we decided to get out and go looking for her. We looked for her the other day and didn't see her, but anyhow, sad news. We found her, and We checked her over. We don't see that she was shot, but it's hard to tell on an animal this large. She's got blood coming out of her nose and mouth, and we just don't know what happened. It's heartbreaking. And we're just looking around to see. She didn't try to fight through the fence, doesn't look like. And I don't see any. My friend and I are sitting here looking at it, trying to see if there's a hunting blind around, but I don't see one. So anyhow, sad loss. She was a good cow. You said this would have been her third baby? So anyhow, she was a pretty one. Another tragic loss. On top of one thing I didn't point out on when I shot the video I shot for the cow was about a week ago, and after I filmed the cow, we were walking back up to the rest of the herd and to the truck, and I noticed sitting right on top of a freshly fallen leaf, a pretty 22 round, a shell for 22. And it was about 100 feet away from the cow. I mean, it's a miracle I even noticed it. But I'm pretty sure somebody shot her. We don't know who. But it's a shame to shoot an animal as good as that, and then just that's healthy, had a lot of good meat. In fact, she had a calf and in her, ready to come out. She was ready to deliver in the next few weeks, if not this week, you know. But so that's really 2 cows gone. So anyhow, rough year. We'll get over it. We'll keep moving forward. Hey there. Sorry the noise. I decided to jump out before I headed back to the house. We got a truckload of old hay and about a truckload worth of manure. We'll be adding more to it, but here's where we are right now. He's mounded up pretty good there, and like I said, we need to get some more manure or leaves or something. I'd like to have it stacked up another 3-4 feet all the way around. Just let this compost cook. So I hate killing animals that I'm not going to eat, you know. It's just it has to happen. That's part of being on the farm, being on the homestead. Sometimes you just you have to take life, especially whenever it's more merciful to take that life, you know. He was really suffering. He really was. So y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Please upvote, comment, re-steam, and you have a wonderful day.